Good morning, everybody. Is it still morning? Yes, it is still morning, and we're here on the Wolfhaven Farm. Yes, this is part of Wolfhaven Farm. Yesterday, Friday, was 1 year that Mary and I have lived in Arizona. So we went to our favorite place for the day. Went to Sedona, took the day off, not working, did some shopping around town, and went up to our favorite place, the chicken store. Uh, all the kids know about it. We all took all the kids there. Um, had a great day. Had a wonderful day, and it just kept getting better. And Mary is going to tell you why it kept getting better. Mary?
So, hi everyone. By the magic of cameras, Mike and I have switched places, but still standing in the driveway. And here is the great news that happened yesterday. Our driveway is now legal. It got approved. We got the permit approved. So, for anyone who's been following this story, it has been several months now of trying to get a driveway approved after we put the driveway in. And so Sean and Lisa and Tim and Mike came out and helped us lay this beautiful driveway. We put down a layer of clinkers, which these are clinkers for those of you who have asked that question. So there's a 4-inch layer of clinkers and then a 4-inch layer of millings on top of it. So we came up 8 inches. The driveway is 910 feet long. So why that's important is that makes a difference how much fill you bring in on a piece of property. You're only allowed to bring in 50 cubic yards of fill, which we way exceeded that when we brought in the clinkers and the millings to do this driveway. That was issue number one. Issue number two was there is a natural stream bed that goes across the property that we put a culvert in so that the driveway goes over the culvert. We needed to make sure that the culvert was actually certified in case of a flood. And so we knew what size to put in because of other culverts on the property. So we did the same size in this particular area, figuring that would be safe, but it has to be certified. That was issue number two. Issue number three was the entrance of the driveway. So the entrance of the driveway touches a county road. So that's actually what triggered all of this to begin. Where it is on the county road, they felt like it was in a bad spot because of the road curves. So our entire frontage along Spring Valley Road are curves. There's very few places that it's actually a straight area. You have to have a straight area of 165 feet in order to put your driveway in, and you need to have a certain amount of clearance. So that was part of the issue. The other part of the issue is that there's a housing development across the street. And the housing development has been in process of being built out for several years, and it will probably take several more years to finish building it out. But it's not a very big housing development, and so there's not a lot of traffic that comes in and out of it. But it was felt that from a traffic control issue perspective, with our driveway being almost across the street from their driveway, it would cause a traffic issue. So that was issue number four. And so after 2 or 3 months of working with the county on this, sending in site drawings, explaining things about the property, I had to fill out paperwork to say why we didn't put in a circular driveway on the property. They had come back at one point and said, we need you to tap the new driveway off of the old driveway to get to our shed, which is at the very end of this driveway. We didn't want to do that because it would take out too many trees and it would be very visible from anywhere on the property. And it would quite honestly cut quite a path through the center of the property. So I filled out all the paperwork on that, sent it back in. They approved for us not need to have the circular driveway, but it still came back that this driveway still needed to be certified by an engineer. And so now we're at the beginning of June. We get notice from the county that says, sorry, we can't move forward until you have a civil engineer come out and look at it. Well, everybody knows what building is like, right? And trying to find someone to do construction work or trying to find engineers, they're all tapped out. They were all booked out several months. Well, several months out for us means that the shed does not get put in. The shed company was calling, the concrete guys were calling, everybody wanted to come out and get started on our shed, but we couldn't do the shed until the driveway was certified. And so I made several phone calls, finally got to Mark with Raymond Consulting out of Flagstaff. Fantastic. He and Lizzie came out within a couple weeks. They worked us into their schedule. They came out and spent a couple days with our property. So they came out and looked at everything. Lizzie spent the day out here doing all the flies are crazy. doing all of the measurements needed. They produced all the paperwork for us. And essentially what Mark came back with was that the amount of fill we brought into the property was fine, because from a drainage perspective, we were fine. The culvert was fine, no issue there. Where the entrance of the driveway is fine when it comes into relationship to the new housing development, because as we believed and suspected, along Spring Valley Road, there was a very limited place we could put the entrance to this driveway because of the curbs, and we were trying to avoid that. The other thing that he looked at, and he went through all of the county regulations, is that it has to be 165 feet from the nearest private driveway on the same side of the road. And the neighbors behind us, their driveway runs up this side of our property. And so our entrance is just barely 165 feet from their driveway, which means we can't really move the entrance any direction. At best, he said we needed to move the driveway 12 feet to the east. That was really what he would recommend if we needed to move it at all. And so we submitted all the paperwork to the county. 4th of July holiday kind of got in the middle of it. People are out on vacation, but I've been working with Jamie, who's been fantastic. Kelly, thank you so much for all of your help. John reviewed everything today, or the last couple of days for us. And the good news, yesterday at 4 o'clock, they sent through approval for the driveway. So we don't need to make any changes to it. It can stay as is. The entrance can stay as is. All of the fill we brought in is fine. The culvert is fine. All that is good. So the great news is the driveway is legal. So we can now have this driveway. Now we need to get the shed permit approved. We were trying to get the shed permit approved prior to the driveway, so at least the shed guys could get started. But I think the county really wanted to make sure that the driveway could be approved first, because if not, if they didn't approve the driveway the way it was, we were going to need to make changes to it. Which Sean, Lisa, Tim, thank you so much for offering to come out and make any adjustments that we needed to make to the driveway. Good news is we don't need to make any adjustments. So as Mike said, long list of people to thank. Sean and Lisa for all the hard work you did in putting in all of this fill. To Mark and Lizzie for coming out and doing all the engineering, all the drawings on it, and making sure everything was copacetic, filling out all the paperwork just for us to send back to the county. Tim and Mike for doing the original excavation of the driveway to get it into place. And then John, Jamie, Kelly, everybody at the permit office for really going through all of our stuff, working really well with us to reply back with what we needed to do, so that we can make sure that we always supplied you the right information, the right level of detail that you needed. So it was a village that helped us put this driveway in. So we want to thank everybody for that. And the good news is now we can work on getting the shed permit approved. Right now we've tentatively got Bill Curry and his brothers scheduled to come out in a couple weeks to do the concrete. So hopefully we'll have the shed permit approved by then. And then we've tentatively scheduled for the shed folks to come out the first week of August. And hopefully by mid-August, all of our stuff is out of storage, still sitting down in 3 storage bins in Phoenix. So hopefully we'll get it out of storage and get it up here, and we will have all of our stuff here. So thanks for watching. That's the update on the driveway. We hope you all have a great Saturday.